Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Epic Geek Out, the only show on the internet that likes to drive fast cars and pick up hot women. I'm your host Chad.
I'm your host Rob, and today we're going to be giving our review of Fast and Furious 6.
As always, you can check us out over at Twitter at Epic Geek Out. Also make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/epicgeekout, and also check out the website, www.epicgeekout.com. But let's get into our review of Fast and Furious 6.
So today we're talking about the Fast and the Furious 6. It's the latest in the Fast and the Furious mega franchise, I guess I'll call it. It's the team. It's the third from Justin Lin, who kind of started this whole sort of overarching story in the past three. Ever since the end of Tokyo Drift, when Vin Diesel kind of comes back, and then sort of now tying through all these. And it stars the usual players. Vin Diesel, obviously Paul Walker, and the Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson from the last film. He's back in this one, kind of working together with the team. And these movies have kind of evolved into this like weird, like Ocean's 11 heisty, like teen movies, and it's really
certainly
interesting.
not about drag racing anymore.
It's certainly not, and they kind of make some references in this to like you've come a long way from like stealing DVD players in the first one to now like on this epic romp through like Europe, where they're like trying to stop this international mastermind. I mean, it's really come into this like weird, huge universe of like films.
Kind of a ridiculous.
Very ridiculous. There's a lot of hyper real action in this.
No.
If you've seen the trailers, and I'm sure you have, you've seen the crazy stuff. It kind of keeps one-upping itself throughout the films. I mean,
it does, but it doesn't get crazier than the trailers.
Right,
which I think is
they definitely show a lot of the set piece moments in the trailers, unfortunately. But it's a hardcore action movie, not much in the way of story. But this one, they're basically I guess I'll give a little bit of the plot. This one, Letty, who was Dom's girlfriend, is now back from the dead because she seemingly died in the Fast and the Furious, which is number 4, and she is back. It turns out she's alive, so they're trying to track her down. She's working for this like international ex-military guy who's trying to steal a lot of high-powered government stuff. So they're tracking him and her down, and that's how they're kind of brought back into the game.
That's how they get them in.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is not my kind of movie at all. I didn't mind the last one too much. I think some of the action scenes I enjoyed The Rock in that. I think he, brought he's an action star through and through. But, this movie, it falls, again, I think I just need to stop watching trailers, but I go to see the movie so often, what I'm going to do for the 20 minutes before it starts, that every cool set piece was shown in the trailer. Like, the roof collapsing, like the first getaway. I think the fight between the two girls was great and really well done. And then, the plane at the end, all shown in the trailer. So you go to see the tank, exactly. So you go to see these movies for mindless entertainment, but there is just a level where I hit where the mindless, it gets too much. Like, take Star Trek, for instance. I really enjoyed that movie, and it had its faults. It really did, and it had holes and things like that. But because the interactions between all the characters were so strong, the humor hit, the action was so good, you forgot about that. And yeah, you can argue the action's okay in this movie. I don't think it does anything revolutionary by any stretch. But then you have the dialogue and these characters who I don't have any not compassion, but like I don't care about them at all. Like, oh, this one's back. Oh, okay. Oh, that, okay. Like, it just, it doesn't connect at all for me. The dialogue is not enjoyable in this movie at all. It is really a bunch of,
especially The Rock,
single sentence, like, zingers and catchy things, and then there's like just straight up exposition of them explaining what's going to happen. I mean, they give you no credit as an audience member for you to figure something out. There's some really just weird shots of people driving for like no reason. The camera's on them. So I don't know. This is not the movie for me. I know that there's fans of the franchise that are really going to enjoy this, but it just, I don't know. And like they try to have the Tyrese's character be like the humor of the movie, but the things were so stupid.
He just whines the whole time.
Whines, and they make him endanger like teammates by his stupidity. Like There's also, and maybe we can talk about this after you're done because it's kind of spoilery.
Mm-hmm.
There's just one plot hole in the movie that is so unforgivable that like I was just like, I'm done. I checked out at that point, and so.
Yeah, it's definitely mindless, and that part of it, in that mentality, I enjoyed the action because, it is what it is, again, with these action movies, and that part of it I enjoyed. There was a lot, like, the plot, ridiculous. I mean, the stuff, they've almost become superheroes at this point. I mean, they jump off of things.
They straight up fly in this movie.
I mean, it's like the one thing that I loved about the first Fast and Furious. I mean, this is like like dating us because I was like in middle school at this point. But the thing I loved about that it was a view into a world that I wasn't familiar with street racing, and in this small town, and the crime element was such a minor part of it. And now it's become a typical hyper-realized action movie where there's cars involved. The hand-to-hand combat's really good in it. It reminds me of like some of the Bourne combat. Like they do a good job with that.
And then other straight up wrestling moves, but
right, yeah.
I mean,
but I like that they've kind of been able to kind of make that a little bit stronger. But again, it's really just the car part of it's become a second backseat to this crazy action like spy movie, which is so weird, but it's doing tons of money, so obviously they're doing it for a reason. But like they throw in like some lines, or like a NOS canister gets attached to a weapon, so like you're still in Fast and Furious, but it's it kind of got away from what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's good or bad. I like the fact that it's become sort of like a bigger storyline, though. I like that, and I like that the tag at the end of the movie after the credits.
They're set up for the next one.
It really ties the franchise together, and it kind of got annoying because I just watched Fast 5 yesterday because I hated the Fast and Furious, which was number 4, and so I kind of never got around to seeing Fast 5, and I was like, well, I should probably see that before 6. So I watched it yesterday, and in both the Fast and the Furious, Fast 5, and this movie, they make the Tokyo thing like a huge, like obvious, like Tokyo Drift. So that part of Tokyo Drift and like tying it into the larger universe, I think is cool. But overall, you're getting more of the same again of the action craziness. If you like the others, it's probably worth a go see. But
I disagree with that. I mean, but yeah, and then there's just this one piece at the end that is so ridiculously unbelievable. Yeah. It just doesn't even make logical sense. First off, the thing that happens, again, it's hard to say this wouldn't happen in real life, but like this certainly wouldn't happen in real life. And then all their actions, one shot, like one cut away, is nullified because they decide it makes no sense, and it just
I was buying everything up to that point, and that kind of just derailed it. But the sequence at the end is kind of worth it, I guess. It's a cool sequence. I don't know. Anyways, mindless action, Fast and Furious goes hand in hand. So if you are into that, it's a good movie maybe to catch. If not, wait till video, because you'll surely catch it then, and there's gonna be another one and another one and another one. So that's Fast and Furious 6. So it's that time again to give some thanks and share some geek wisdom with you. Rob, what's your thanks today?
I'm going to thank a documentary that I was able to catch on Netflix. It's called The Art of the Steal, and it focuses on the Barnes Foundation, which is one of, if not the largest private collections of art anywhere. Our country, the world, anywhere. And it's this amazing story of kind of how the art was collected and what happened to it after Dr. Barnes, who was, the person who collected all the art, passed away. What was really cool about this documentary is it's all very local to me. It took place first in Lower Merion and then Philadelphia. So a lot of like the political people who were interviewed, I know them, and it's really neat to see a documentary of such a very interesting story taking place kind of in our backyards. So check that out on Netflix. It's called The Art of the Steal. Really, really good documentary.
Love documentaries. I was just in Boston last week for a business trip, and I got to go somewhere that I've been to before, the Cheers Bar. Awesome. And I've been there twice before. And I was always like, this place sucks because like it doesn't look like the show, and it's just this like weird small bar. But there's a secret. they have an upstairs, and it's a complete recreation of the set.
Oh, really?
From the show. And I was like, this is so cool, because we actually went to get dinner there, and every other time I've gone there, well, the first time I wasn't 21, so I just stood outside, but the second time we just drank downstairs. Well, we got sat for dinner, and they took us upstairs, and it's the
cool.
set bar, so it's completely recreated. It's awesome.
Oh, that's neat.
So I was just excited because, going there, I wasn't overly excited because I was like, oh, I've been here, it's just this like thing you got to do in Boston. But then I was kind of surprised to see that they had actually had that.
I feel like they should have told us that.
They should have
made mention to that.
Yeah, because it was kind of hidden. Like you had to go like through the bathroom area and like the store and then go upstairs. So yeah, it was really cool. And I'm really glad that I got to do that and kind of get to see that little piece of history.
That's awesome.
But just a reminder that we're going to be at Philadelphia Comic Con this weekend. So make sure you stop by, say hi, leave comments if you're going to be there. We can maybe, chat. Or
absolutely.
Something. And so be on the lookout for us if you're in Philly. But thanks for watching this episode. And as always, we'll see you next time.